Hey everybody, you're back with Joey. I'm with my Bantes here, feeling fantastic today because we've seen the energy in the studio just change incredibly. So I do want to do some shout outs real quick. Neil Perry. Neil, thanks for putting your name down. Very nice fan out there. You're wondering if the monks live in the temple or do they live outside in other homes. Bante, please.
Yes, I ordained at the meditation center, and in Sri Lanka, then I moved to a forest center. I lived in the forest in a cave for 4 years.
Okay.
Then I was invited to the United States. I was at the Washington Buddhist Vihara, serving at that temple.
Oh, beautiful.
And then came down to Los Angeles. I served there for a long time. And then
you were in LA then for a while. What part? Whereabouts?
In Pasadena.
Oh, beautiful.
And also
there, yeah.
in Hollywood, we had a small temple there.
Oh, yeah, we have a studio in Hollywood too. So maybe next show we'll do over there again. We'll wake up all the people in Hollywood and Vine.
Then I wanted to live alone again, and my sister came from England, and she bought a small house in Las Vegas for me. So that is my residence now. And I teach meditation at the Rohan Spiritual Center.
Okay, Neil, so you heard it right there from Bante. Bante, Nakala, go ahead and tell them your side. Do you live in a home? Do you live at the temple? You live here? You live there? What?
Yeah, no, monks live in temples.
Okay, so
they don't live. It's when you're a monk, it's 100%, 100% of the time you're a monk. You have to behave as a monk properly.
And
there's no vacation.
Be there doing the correct things. You live as a monk. You give it all up to live that life, and that's very important. We didn't know who Fan was, but we're just seeing all kinds of things. Thank you. I'm glad I'm a huge role model, but you might want to put your name in there. Always like to know your name. And you're loving having the monks on today. We really love having them. What influenced them to become monks?
Well, I myself, I wanted to be free from anger, fear, depression, and find real mental happiness. I was a sailor, and I have been traveling around the world. I've been to more than 40 countries, but I was unhappy because more you are attached to material things, the more sad and fear, depression arise. So
it's just so true what you said about that, because I know in my life I learned the word less is better.
Yes.
And I think we all need to learn that less is better. You don't need all these things.
Yes.
Less is better, and with that comes less suffering, I believe.
Yes.
I believe. Bante, let me ask you this. What is the secret to world peace, in your opinion?
Yes, there was a Burmese monk called Tungpalu Sayadaw, and one of his nicknames was Kaba Aye, which means world peace. So one of my friends had asked him, what is the secret to world peace? And he said it is by keeping the 5 precepts. You can have world peace.
Right.
So the 5 precepts are to abstain from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, and the taking of alcohol and drugs.
Okay, so that the 5th spot is in just as important in there also.
Yes.
Okay, and
so all of those are important.
And you abstain from all those things.
Yeah, and you try, or you know that right view means to know that keeping the 5 precepts is good. And also knowing that if you break any of the 5 precepts, that's unwholesome. It's bad or unwholesome.
Right.
So that's what's called right view.
Can it happen? Does it happen?
You can break the 5 precepts, but then you should know I need to change my behavior in the future. I used to be a hunter, so then I didn't like that feeling of killing animals.
The hunting stopped of killing, right.
So I was like, oh, well, I want to be happy, so...
Right.
Killing animals was painful.
Patrick, thanks for chiming in. Bante, why do we wear these robes?
We wear these robes. It is very very comfortable to live in the forest, and actually it is coming from a very ancient tradition, and especially in the ancient time,
Yes.
the monks used to take clothes from the corpses and wash them and dye with the tree roots and color them. And
my goodness. Wow.
now the modern time we have already made up robes.
And different monks wear different colors.
It depends on the ordination. Our ordination coming from the Burma, so the most of the Burmese monks wear dark colors, and the monks from the Thai ordination they wear yellow color.
The yellow, or like even Tibetan with the red
Tibetan,
and the yellow and everything else. I want to give a shout out to Stevens Point, Wisconsin, to Low C and Kimberly R out there in Stevens Point. Congratulations on your first freshman year graduating. Keep up the great work. We're very, very proud of you. Patrick, thank you for chiming in with why do we wear the robes. I'm going to get back to some questions here. We're running out of time, really close, and we want to have the Bantes back, definitely. There's just too much to cover. Is your loving kindness the same for all living beings? Real quick.
Yeah, for all living beings.
Okay. As they say, grasshopper outside, he's jumping around, and I step on the grasshopper. Do I respect him and push him off and let him live his life? Will he come back? I think that's a question they always want to know. Is there a reincarnation?
Yeah, we don't use the word reincarnation. We use rebirth. That means every chitta or the thoughts arise, chittas, the mind arise, exist and passes away. Then the second mind arise, exist and passes away. The one and the first and the second one has no connection, but due to the first one, the second chitta arises. So when the last chitta pass away from when we pass away from this life,
Yes.
and the new chitta rise.
Then a new one arises.
Yeah. So we call this life continuation.
Continuation, and some might call it reincarnation. They call it
in this country they
continuation.
use the reincarnation. We use the word called relink in mind or rebirth.
Right. Cindy's saying they love the outlook, your outlook on life. It's marvelous. I wish that more people could just feel the love a little bit. Bhante, something very important, and I studied this with the Dalai Lama, but what are the Four Noble Truths? And if you want to test me, you can, but you don't have to.
Yes, the Four Noble Truths that's the cornerstone of the whole Buddha's religion. The understanding of the first truth, the understanding of suffering. Second one is understanding the cause of suffering, which is craving, clinging, craving. The third noble truth is the cessation of suffering. So
Right.
having suffering ceasing.
Or
from
having it leave,
yes,
correct?
cutting it off.
All right.
And then the fourth noble truth is the eightfold path, the
Eightfold
way
Path,
to
right.
the way to get enlightened.
And I've been doing a lot of studying on that, and I think that's a beautiful thing to really align yourself even better in life. Bhante, let me see what I have for you here. There's just so much to ask. We have 50 seconds, so we want to leave you on a nice one. Do you? I asked you that one. Well. No one wants to suffer, I guess. The bottom line to conclude here today, no one wants to suffer. And if we can keep these practices that you have taught and that are teaching, and Bhante, that you are teaching and working together, I think the world can be a lot better place to enlighten yourself with some of these things. Love your neighbor. Show a little love. Okay, it's not all about hatred and jealousy, and we see the world has become that. My name is Joey Ciccone. This is the Joey Ciccone Show. I want to thank my two monks, my two Bhantes, for being here today. I'll talk to you next Friday. I got something special for you coming up. Ciao.